Hey, this is Joe. Welcome to McDuffy Park, also called Hidden Park. McDuffy Park is a city park in Albuquerque that cannot be accessed directly by car because it's completely hidden behind the backyards of houses, and there's these walkways, these alleyways that lead into the park. Many of the trees here at McDuffy Park are quite mature. For instance, this one right here. And as such, it gives great amounts of shade in the hot summer days. The park is a great place to come, to spend some quiet time, just to reflect on life, to stroll, and just to have a nice, peaceful experience in the middle of the city. There's a lot of contrast in the styles of architecture between the more traditional houses and the more modernist ones, even though they're right next door to each other. And this is one of the pleasures of McDuffy Park, is being able to see people's backyards and kind of their living situation and how it abuts up against a public park. There's some interesting urban art here also at McDuffy Park. For instance, this artistic mural on the backside of someone's outbuilding in their backyard. It really lends a kind of artistic flair to the park. One of the great things about McDuffy Park is the fact that there are so many dog walkers in the neighborhood, and here's an example of where they've actually left out water for the dogs to water themselves with. So it's kind of a real friendly neighborhood in that regard. I like the dichotomy between the bamboo fencing and the metal fencing, and just the two styles. And then they hang bags from the fences for people to put their dog waste in so they don't dirty up the park, which I think is a great idea. I remember when I first heard about McDuffy Park, or Hidden Park, back in the mid-1980s, and I didn't know where it was at. In fact, I didn't want to know where it was at. I wanted to find it myself. And so I drove around the neighborhoods north and east of Nob Hill and UNM and slowly zeroed in on an area where there was a large section that you couldn't get to by car. It seemed like it was surrounded by houses. And finally I got out on foot and began walking around that area and found these little alleyways that cut in between the houses to the park. And I thought that was so cool. I felt like it was my own personal discovery, like my hidden secret little place, even though it's a city park and everybody knows about it. But it was a kind of an interesting thing of discovery for me, and I've always enjoyed coming back to McDuffy Park for that reason. I just stopped and talked with a couple walking around the park with their old black lab, Lucy. And they've lived in this neighborhood for decades. They live in one of the houses adjoining the park, and they were a great couple to talk to. It's really, meeting them was really indicative of the kind of neighborhood that this is, and it's one of these areas that you really would like to live if you could. So I enjoy coming to McDuffy Park. It's a place of peace. Here's something that a lot of cities are doing now, and that's little public miniature libraries. They're free book exchanges, and they've located one here in the corner of McDuffy Park for quite a few years. Just another cool touch. I love these outbuildings that border right on the wall of the park from people's private properties. It looks almost like a shared space, like their property is being shared with the public property. This is one of my favorite fences in all of the park's boundaries. This rustic wooden fence with this wonderful wrought iron gatework. And white picket fences aren't all that common in Albuquerque, but here's a nice example of a white picket fence. And of course, no visit to McDuffy Park would be complete without walking by the red Love Heart Gate. So another great visit to McDuffy Park on this partly cloudy August summer afternoon with the possible chance of rain showers, but what a great place in the middle of the city to come to find a little peace, to get a little quiet walk in the cool air and the humidity of the park, and to meet some interesting people and talk to them. Until next time, this is Joe Van Cleve. Have yourself a great day.